Hello everybody, welcome back to the Madden 12 Denver Broncos franchise. Indeed, we just wrapped up the final season of this series. As of now, I am going to leave the door open, as I stated before, to possibly return to this series, whether that be 6 months, a year, 5 years down the line, or maybe never. I really did enjoy this series. I really built up my channel on this series. It was the only series I was doing for a while. Just a big shout out to everyone who watched it and commented and liked, especially Corey Fromwell. He's been here basically from the beginning of this series. This video is basically just a look at the highlights and whatnot throughout the series and throughout all 5 seasons. So it's a little long, about 50 minutes or so. So if you've not got time to watch it or whatnot, I understand. That's fine. But for those who do, here we go. Season 1, Week 1, here is our first touchdown. It was against the Oakland Raiders on Monday Night Football. A nice connection to Brandon Lloyd in the back of the end zone. Then later in the game, here we're trying to take the lead going over the middle. Eddie Royal with the reception and the touchdown. That gives Denver the late lead. But the Raiders, they're going to force overtime. So we got a Tebow time moment here. The very first game, it was our first play on offense after the defense forced a 3 and out. We're tied at 21 apiece. Tim Tebow takes it to the house. Very first episode, we get the Tim Tebow award. And if that's not how you start out a series with Tim Tebow, I don't know how you do it. It was just a big time win. We started off this the first season pretty good, 4-0. Here in week 3, we actually signed Terrell Owens. This is our game against the Titans now. Cox jumps up, gets the interception. We're down 20-3, but not anymore. We're going to be down 20-10 after Parrish Cox gets this pick 6. Big game for him. Just a big time play here. And then the Titans, they kept scoring though. Randy Moss gets the big play there, and that put him over 1,500 receiving yards. But just one play later, Tim Tebow takes it to the crib. These quarterback draw plays worked really good at the beginning of the series when I was using all pro sliders, but then when I moved up to all Madden, man, it was not working as well anymore. There's Tebow in the back of the end zone. He didn't do that very often. Now at the end of the third quarter, Tebow throws it to Tebow to T.O., and that gives us the lead. It was an absolute shootout of a game there. Vince Young actually had to come play the fourth quarter because Kerry Collins got hurt. Tied at 37 now with just about 2 minutes left to go in the game. Terrell Owens, another fantastic touchdown reception from him. He didn't have very many highlights though because he got hurt at about mid-season. Then we went to play the Packers. We absolutely blew them out. Terrell Owens, another spectacular grab for him here. Look at the replay. Gets tipped up into the air and then lands right in his hand there. That was a big-time highlight. And then we faced our first big adversity against Miami. We did get a couple big plays, though, including Buckhalter's big run here. No Sean Marino. He got hurt. He missed like 8 games of this season and still got 1,000 yards rushing despite only having 600 going into the Week 16 game here. This was our only kick return touchdown we got the entire series, and it was Demaryius Thomas returning because Eddie Royal was our kick returner for the first 3 seasons, I think it was, and he was hurt, so then Demaryius Thomas is back there and returned our only kick return touchdown. I think that was his only kick return of the entire series. Maybe we should have given him more. In Week 8, we had our game against the Lions. They were winless at the time, and we gave them their first win. Champ Bailey jumping in front of Megatron there to get that pick. Week 11 here, it was a fantastic start against the New York Jets. They were driving downfield, the first drive of the game. Joe Mays jumps in front of it and brings this one back to the house. It was a fantastic start on defense because on the very next play, Sanchez, he's looking to throw, dumps it off to his man there, who loses the football, and then we get another defensive touchdown as DJ Williams brings it in. So by the time Tim Tebow finally saw the field, he was already up 14-0. This was a great game. It really got us back on track here. There's another pick for Joe Mays. We really owned the Jets every season. Every year they were on our schedule. Either we finished in the same spot as them or we were playing their division, and we just annihilated them pretty much every time except for in year 5. Here against the Chargers, Week 12, we forced the fumble. Hunter takes this one back. Not all the way to the crib, though. This was another overtime game where it should have been the new rules. Instead, it was the old rules here as Matt Prater comes out and kicks the game winner. A big-time win for us to keep us in playoff contention. I believe we were both 5-5 going into this game. Neither of us ended up making the playoffs, I believe. Then here against the Vikings, they really owned us. We could not stop Adrian Peterson to save our lives, but a 75-yard touchdown to Jabbar Gaffney, really underrated player throughout about the first season or whatnot. Problem was he was old and he was regressing despite having a good year. This was the shootout at Mile High, going deep. He was looking for Brandon Lloyd, and Virgil Green was able to come down with that one for the big-time touchdown. Absolute shootout between Tim Tebow and Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler did get the best of him. Now Buck Halter, the backup running back, another big run for him. He broke off a big one against Miami. Does it here against Chicago, 78 yards. Ties the game up at 21 apiece. And then here we're down 49-35, but we cut that deficit a little bit. A great reception there by Jabbar Gaffney in the end zone. That got him got him right at 417 above Chris Collinsworth. Here we're playing the Patriots. Tom Brady was injured for this game. So they were playing with Chad Pennington, who throws a pick there to Brian Dawkins, his only pick he got as a Denver Bronco for us. And then Pennington, he gives it right back to us there. Paris Cox gets another pick six, makes this game a little closer, but unfortunately it was in a losing effort. As we see here late into the game, going deep. What a catch there from Brandon Lloyd, man. He made some great catches when he was healthy, but he was another player who was regressing. And we ended up trading him to the Buffalo Bills, but not at this game here. Big run here from Noshawn Marino. His first game back, he only had 600 yards, as I already said, but he broke off so many big runs. He had back-to-back 200-yard games. Another nice reception there from Brandon Lloyd. Somehow able to come down with this one. And then here goes Noshawn Marino. Another big run for him. Something I noticed that was pretty funny about Buffalo over the season, they basically were the Buffalo Broncos because they had Kyle Orton as their quarterback. In the most recent offseason, they had signed Quan Sherman. They had traded for Brandon Lloyd. They had signed John Fox as their head coach. A bunch of our former players. They also signed Virgil Green in free agency, so they just wanted to be just like us. Back-to-back 200-yard games from Noshawn Marino. This is the second one of them. We were able to upset the Chiefs. They were trying to get the 1 seed here, but instead we were able to upset them, make them go 11-5 instead of 12-4. They ended up losing in the divisional round of the playoffs. Noshawn Marino, he was going for the record there, but unfortunately cut short there due to injury late in the game. Jumping to Season 2 now, J.J. Woodson, he fell in our laps. It fell into our lap in the draft, and he makes 2 big-time touchdown receptions. His first 2 catches in the NFL went for touchdowns. He had a fantastic rookie year. He should have won Rookie of the Year. Instead, they gave it to Kiefer Wilson. Week 2 against the Saints, we were able to beat down on the Chiefs there. And then Jeremiah Bell, one of my favorite players that I signed. He was really good. He only played 2 seasons for us. This defense was playing really good against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. They were one of the better teams in year 1, but in year 2, they really fell off there. We got a big time win. And then here, Tim Tebow's 5-touchdown game against the Chiefs. I believe it's the only time he had 5 passing touchdowns in one game. I would say this is arguably his best game. He did have 1 pick in this game. He had a couple other games here in year 2 that he played really good. There was an interception by Hill. That was his 20th career pick. Tim Tebow, he also had a big game against Baltimore and against Cincinnati, which you'll see here later on in the highlights. Going deep for Woodson, gets tipped, and he catches it right before halftime to make this game a little bit closer. Tebow gets his 2nd touchdown. Now here's his 3rd one in the 3rd quarter, stepping up, wide open in the end zone. Who else but J.J. Woodson? He earned himself the nickname, the touchdown machine, early in his career. Unfortunately, he could not quite live up to that in the last 2 seasons. And then Chad Ochocinco, he was with us for 2 years. He gets a nice touchdown there. And why not add one more? Why not get Brandon Lloyd involved in this game? Just an absolute blowout on Monday Night Football, playing the Chiefs for the 3rd time in, I think it was like 4 games, because we played them at the end of the season as well. And look at that. Who else but J.J. Woodson dragging the toes in the back of the end zone. We were both 3-0 going into this game, the Chargers and the Broncos. Unfortunately, they were able to get the best of us, and then we got destroyed by Jacksonville, man. Like, we got annihilated by them. But we did have this big-time touchdown from J.J. Woodson at the beginning of the 2nd half to tie the game up at 10 apiece. But, Yeah, it did not go our way after that. You see, now we're down 34-10. Tebow taking a deep shot here. J.J. Woodson. When was he not in the end zone in year 2, man? He was just so good. When it came down, he had 1,000 yards and 14 receiving touchdowns. Just a fantastic rookie season. It was unfortunate that he kind of fell off. Week 6 here against the Oakland Raiders, forcing the fumble. Jason Hunter, man, he was someone who really developed nicely. Kind of a no-name. Didn't really work out for him in real life, but man, he was an absolute stud. He led us in sacks half of the time. But yeah, we were going on a little bit of a losing streak. But in between the losing streak, right smack in the middle of it, we were able to upset the Pittsburgh Steelers, the best team in the AFC. They would end up being the 1 seed. You're going to see them later as we played them in the conference championship. Here against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dwayne Robertson gets his first pick. He was someone I almost took in the first round of the draft, actually. He fell to us in the second round, though. 98 speed, you gotta love it. His main thing, though, was he kept getting injured. But when he was on the field, man, he was great. He was a ball hawk, and half the time when he got his hands on the ball, he brought it back to the house. This was his first pick, went for a pick 6. This was the heartbreaker against the Buccaneers. We were able to go downfield and take the lead with 30 seconds left to go, but then Fitzmagic does what Fitzmagic does, and he drove downfield and then set up a game-winning field goal. Thursday night football. It's week 11 here. Dwayne Robertson gets another pick. This was the Bengal beatdown. We ended up winning 59-0. Just an insane game here. There's Chad Ochocinco getting his first touchdown against his former team there. He had a spectacular year the season before, and the Bengals still let him go, and he was really sticking it to him there. J.J. Woodson gets away from the first man there, brings it all the way to the crib. Man, this was a fun game. Nothing went right for the Bengals. The only touchdown they really had got called back, and then the field goal attempt that they had, they missed it. Oh, look, it's J.J. Woodson in the end zone again. Look at this. It's going to be 42-0 at the half. I don't know who was scheduling these games on Thursday night prime time, but they might have made a little bit of a mistake there. But I mean, I'm okay with beating down on the Bengals. Prime time football here. Nate Irving with the scoop and score on this play, man. 59-0. That was a miserable day to be Carson Palmer. And then we went to the defending Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens. And we upset them as well. I don't remember. This might have been primetime Sunday night or Monday night. I don't remember exactly. But I did remember that we beat them down. Joe Flacco was not playing this game, so that definitely hurt them. I believe they only made the playoffs in year 1 when they won the Super Bowl. And then just they did what they did in real life and just didn't ever go back. We just had a big game here. Demaryius Thomas, he really, this was one of his breakout games, I guess, even though about every season he averaged about 4 touchdowns and 500 yards, no matter how much I threw to him. And then against the New York Jets, our annual beatdown on them, J.J. Woodson with a nice grab there. That's Tim Tebow's 50th career passing touchdown. Sanchez looking to throw, dumping it off to Jeffrey Romero. Jeremiah Bell forces that ball out there, and look who it is, Jason Hunter, another defensive touchdown for him. He found himself in the end zone probably more than most other defensive players in the league. The Jets, they were trying to keep it close there, but Julius Thomas, a 75-yard touchdown, one of the best tight ends maybe in the league. I mean, he was really good for us. He had that 1,000-yard season in year 4. He did deal with some injuries as well, though. And then forcing a fumble there, Jeremiah Bell picks it up, and he's going to take it to the crib, man. Throughout this series, this defense was just really good. They made so many big plays and so many defensive touchdowns. They did tend to struggle early in the year, especially when it came to year 4 and 5. Here we get our first of 2 blocked field goals that we ever got this entire series. That one was to Ike Taylor. Taking a deep shot. We're against Cleveland here, down big time. Unfortunately, we weren't able to put any points up as that was the last play, but it was a nice catch there for Randy Moss. That put him over 1,000 yards, or right on 1,000 receptions, rather. We signed him. We went all in on receiver and free agency because we knew that was a need, and we were not expecting J.J. Woodson to fall to us. But he did. Randy Moss didn't get as much play time. He was kind of washed up, though. And then against the Chargers here, this was a big-time game for us. It made it so it was very possible that we could win the division. Unfortunately, we weren't able to wrap it up and whatnot at the end of the season. Oh, look, it's J.J. Woodson in the end zone yet again, man. He was so good in year one. You could just throw it up to him. He'd come down with it. But in the later seasons, he really struggled with the drops. And then Chad Ochocinco, kind of underwhelming. We probably overpaid him, but... he was still solid at times, especially in year 2. He kind of fell off in year 3. And then here against Oakland, if we were able to win this game, we would have had a wild card game and I got 11-5, but we didn't. So we're going to have to be playing the Tennessee Titans on the road here. But it was a walk in the park, really. I don't know how Kevin Cobb and the Tennessee Titans snuck into the playoffs when they had Peyton Manning in that division, but they somehow did there. And we really handled business. CJ2K broke off a big touchdown run, but that's all they had going for them. Their defense did force us to a lot of field goals, but, I mean, we really dominated them on that game. And then we went to the New England Patriots in the divisional round, and we just ran over them. I believe we won, I think it was 20-3 or 23-3. Tom Brady couldn't do anything there. J.J. Woodson, a nice touchdown reception. So, yeah, if you count his postseason touchdowns, he might be nearing 20, maybe? I don't know exactly there. He got a nice one there. 3rd down and 2. Brady floating to the right. Champ Bailey, man. He had an amazing postseason in year 2. I think he had 5 picks throughout the entire playoffs, like 4 or 5 of them. He was playing out of his mind. He wanted that ring badly. Unfortunately, we were not able to get it for him. And then on 3rd down and 5, Von Miller, he came up big in the playoffs here. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to consistently get to the quarterback until year 5 when we moved in the defensive end. There, J.J. Woodson, it's just another touchdown for him, man. This was pretty regular for him in year 2 here. As, yep, we were able to win 23-3 over the Patriots, so we really dominated them. So on Championship Sunday, we're down big time here against the Steelers. Oh, look, it's Champ Bailey getting another interception. He takes this back to the crib. This was the game Tim Tebow got hurt, I think in the 3rd quarter. We were tied 6-6 at the half. It'd been a game of field goals. Steelers are trying to really take control of the game there. Champ Bailey with the pick 6, but we're not going to be able to have Tim Tebow since he got hurt. Luckily, he would be back for the Super Bowl. Spoiler alert, we go to the Super Bowl. Champ Bailey, man, he was playing out of his mind, though. So in comes Vince Young for them. Well, not, or for us, rather. Oh, look, Champ Bailey, another pick for him, man. He was just, I've already said it, he was playing out of his mind. I keep saying that because he was playing so good. And it was only a 3-point game at the time here. Floating it over to him. And it looked like it was intended for him. 4th down and 2. Vince Young in the ball game. Tebow, he's hurt. 4th down and 2 yet again. Dumping it off to Demaryius Thomas. Vince Young knows all about these game-winning drives on 4th down. And then play action here. Throwing it to Virgil Green. I knew I was going to throw it to him. Maybe it was bad. I had some tunnel vision there, but he was wide open. It was just a great throw there. Vince Young really orchestrated the drive 3.0 for us. And then there, where our defense just comes up absolutely clutch. 4th down and 22. I thought they were going to go downfield and kick a field goal because they had a couple big plays before that strip sack. But then on 4th down, DJ Williams gets the sack, and we upset the Pittsburgh Steelers 20-19. And now the 6-seeded Broncos are playing. I think it was the 2-seeded Packers. And then Aaron Rodgers did not have the best game in the Super Bowl. He threw, I think, 3 interceptions, 2 of them to guess who? Champ Bailey. Raheem Moore also got one. Raheem Moore was someone who I should have given more playing time to early on in the season. I really liked Macbeth back there. I guess I just didn't know what I was missing out on with Raheem Moore, who it didn't really work out for him in real life, but in Madden 12 here, he played amazing. Down 17-0 here right before halftime. A nice connection with J.J. Woodson, but we were all out of timeouts, so we had to hurry up to the line at the 18-yard line. We had to get into the end zone, make this game a little tougher, or a bit closer, rather, maybe a little tougher for Green Bay. Look, J.J. Woodson in the end zone yet again. So a big play there. Rodgers looking to throw. Champ Bailey, his 2nd pick on the day. Wasn't able to take this one back to the house, though. But another pick for him. I think that is 5 interceptions throughout this playoff run. And then a deep throw there. J.J. Woodson gets away from Charles Woodson. Woodson on Woodson there. A big connection. it was a nice play here. It was just a great throw. Tim Tebow, I feel like he really regressed after year 2. Especially in year 5, you know, he had all those interceptions. And then Woodson makes the game a little bit closer. Unfortunately, all for naught. So now we're looking to go on a little bit of a revenge tour. Look at who it is. Champ Bailey brings this one back to the house for the touchdown. It was Monday night against the Raiders. Hey, I've seen this one before. Season 1, Week 1 was Monday night against the Raiders. Season 3, Week 1, Monday night against the Raiders. And I think we started off this season a nice 10-0. Tony Romo, he threw a lot of interceptions this game here. It was a good game for us, if I remember correctly there. First play of the game, he throws a pick to Dwayne Robertson. And then trying to put together a 2-minute drill. Romo stepping up, taking a deep shot, picked off by Champ Bailey. Man, those cornerbacks were really good. Dwayne Robertson and Champ Bailey. And then after Bailey retired, moving Dwayne Robertson up to cornerback number 1 after 2 years kind of, I guess, developing behind Champ. Taking another deep shot. Oh, looked picked off by Ike Taylor, who didn't really do a whole lot for us. He was more of a depth guy. He was at the end of his career. He only played 2 seasons. We got a lot of guys who we signed who only played for us in year 2 and 3. And then playing against the Chargers here. Look at that. Chad Ochocinco bringing down a big one there. Phillip Rivers looking to throw. He's got time, trying to take the lead here. Going to the end zone. Champ Bailey, man. He had a fantastic final year of his career. Unfortunate that we could never get him a ring, though. We have our game here against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We were looking for some revenge after they blew us out the prior season. It was a shootout. I think we ended up being tied at one point, 38 apiece. And then here our game against the Giants, man. Season 3, Joe Mays was Joe Mazine. Like, he was just, I think he finished with 10 sacks and he got 5 of them in like the first 5 games. Like, he was playing out of his mind early on. And he wasn't a guy who really got very many sacks throughout the series. But in year 3, man, he just went off. He was more of a pass coverage guy. But when we sent him on blitzes, he just kept winning them here. And this was another shutout that we had gotten. Floating that one over. Oh, look, Joe Mays. This was a big game for him against the New York Giants. We never played Eli Manning. Of course, we only played the Giants once. And Matt Flynn was quarterbacking because Manning was injured. Now we have our game against the Oakland Raiders, our second one of this season. No Sean Marino takes it all the way to the house. Touchdown. That was, 82 yards there? Big time run for him. And another big time win for us. This was the fateful game, though, where Tim Tebow done got hurt and missed the rest of the regular season. Luckily, we did get him back for the postseason in our divisional round game. Kicking it off now, Matt Prater with the kickoff. They had Gibson back there, who was kind of a pain. I mean, it wasn't too big of a pain. He was one of the fastest receivers in the league. But kick returning there, that was not his time right now, as Ike Taylor gets the scoop and score on the kickoff coverage there. The Oakland Raiders, they did make it kind of interesting. Tim Tebow, a deep shot there to Ocho Cinco, right in the corner of the end zone. That was a great play there for him. And then, unfortunately, both times Tim Tebow got hurt, which was against like the Steelers in the championship game, and then here against the Raiders, I forgot to record. Actually, no, against the Steelers, my recording box went out. That was fun when I was dealing with that. And then here, I just straight up forgot to start recording because I went and took a break, and then I came back, and yeah, that was fun. So yeah, that was pretty fun. Tim Tebow getting injured. Here at game against the Kansas City Chiefs, Vince Young's first start for us. Jason Hunter, man, I didn't really realize how many times he had scoop and scores until watching this just now. Even when I was editing it, I didn't really realize, man. He was a freaking boss returning these fumbles to the house here. Joe Mays, he gets the interception there, continuing his amazing Season 3 campaign, up 23-0. Might as well make it up 30-0. J.J. Woodson, he had an all-right season. I think he had, I want to say, 800 yards and like 8 touchdowns or something. So he definitely took a step back in Season 3 here. We almost were able to shut out the Kansas City Chiefs entirely this game. Another scoop and score here for Ike Taylor, as you'll see. Puts us up by 37-7. Big time win for us in Week 7 of Season 3 here against the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, why not add another touchdown on the board, though? Matt Castle floating it out. Fuller with the interception. He was a guy I'd signed, and this is basically all he ever did for us. I think he was a depth guy, but I think we were putting the backups in up this big. Maybe not, because I see Champion Miller out there, but it was a big-time game there. And then against the Indianapolis Colts, we made some nice touchdown grabs in the first half of that game there. J.J. Woodson, he gets that one. Dwayne Robertson, when he gets his hands on the ball, half the time he brings it back to the crib. Wasn't able to do it there, though, but a big-time pick for him. And now Vince Young, he's going to the corner of the end zone. Yeah, a spectacular grab there by Ocho Cinco. Able to keep his feet inbounds. Got a sick animation there. Peyton Manning always seemed to have struggled against us here. Champ Bailey with the interception. That's number 2 of, I believe, 3 that Peyton Manning ended up giving us today in this game here. Manning looking to throw again, trying to get his team back in the game. Instead, he throws a pick 6 to Dwayne Robertson, as you're going to see here. Just no one's going to catch him. He has 98 speed, all right? So unless he got Gibson on the Raiders, okay, no one's catching Dwayne Robertson when he's in open space like that, let me tell you. Then we had a rainy game here against the Houston Texans. Another touchdown reception for J.J. Woodson, man. He was an absolute stud. That's 50 career passing touchdowns for Vince Young. Why not make it 51? J.J. Woodson, another grab, another touchdown, and another win for the Denver Broncos. Then playing against the Eagles here, giving it to Ocho Cinco on the carry. He brings it 40 yards to the house for the rushing touchdown. This game kind of felt like a little bit of a fluke, because I changed the sliders because we were still using All-Pro before this. And then I changed it to a different set of All-Pro sliders, and we just absolutely dominated the Eagles. And don't get me wrong, I like dominating, but I also like, it's fun to be in a shootout or something like that, or be in a close game. I believe after this game, we went back to the Mr. Hurricane sliders. I don't think I ever changed them again after that. J.J. Woodson, another big-time touchdown reception for him there. And it was just an absolute beatdown on Philadelphia. Demaryius Thomas, he always had some pretty nice wheels for us. That was a big-time touchdown for him to extend our lead out. And then we have our game against the Chargers. And this was our first loss on the year, but a spectacular grab there in the end zone by Julius Thomas there. Unfortunate, it would be our first loss, so no 16-0 season for us, but I didn't really think that was going to happen going into the year. I mean, it was a really pleasant surprise to be 10-0 at one point. I mean, the Season 3 Broncos were probably the most dominant team of any team throughout this entire 5-year franchise. J.J. Woodson jumping up and grabbing that one against the Redskins. This was a struggle, honestly. It was a pretty surprising struggle considering the Redskins were the worst team in the league that season. And then we have our annual New York Jet beatdown. Vince Young, I would say he was actually a little bit better with his legs than Tebow was. I don't remember checking if he was faster or not, but he just seemed to have gotten more rushing touchdowns and whatnot in his time than Tebow in the same amount of games. Here goes no Sean Marino, bringing it from one side to the other for another touchdown. Now we have our game against the Tennessee Titans. There's Leighton Manning getting his first touchdown. He only had 3 catches in year 1, but he did have this one touchdown. And Leighton Manning was actually someone I was kind of down on early on in his career. He was kind of a guy who was like, well, I guess I'll take him in like the 2nd or 3rd round or whatnot. Kind of down on him, wasn't really a big fan, but then in year 4 he was forced into a position where he basically had to step up, and that's exactly what he did. Week 16 here, we got another pick 6 with Dwayne Robertson. It was another loss for us, I believe, though. We beat the Titans. That's right, we beat the Titans. We lost to the Chiefs here. Another nice touchdown reception from J.J. Woodson. Not much to talk about in Week 17, so we're just going to jump straight to the playoffs. Tim Tebow's return. This was honestly one of my favorite games. It just looks nice. I don't know what it is with this game. This game specifically with the divisional round. But it just looked nice. It was a great game. We dominated the Colts there. Peyton Manning gave us another pick 6. Champ Bailey adding another one to his total there, running this one back to the end zone for the touchdown. Peyton Manning ended up getting hurt. And honestly, if he just gets rid of some of those mistakes in that game and stays healthy throughout the entire game instead of missing half of it, the Colts very well could have won. Because here, Wright is in the ball game. trying to throw it to Dwayne, or not to Dwayne Robertson, to Pierre Garçon. I don't think he was trying to throw it to Dwayne Robertson, but Dwayne Robertson still caught it and brought it back to the house for the touchdown. Man, so many defensive touchdowns in this game. We absolutely dominated them. And then the AFC Championship. Who else would it be except the Broncos and the Browns? Of course, these teams got some history when it comes to conference titles, or conference championship games and whatnot. You know what I'm trying to say. A nice catch there from Eric Decker on the sideline. But we were down pretty big here, but then we cut the deficit as J.J. Woodson able to catch that one in the end zone for another touchdown for him. And then we were only down by 2 now, and then Champ Bailey, another interception for him. Wasn't able to bring this one back to the house. Unfortunately, we were not able to win this game and go to back-to-back Super Bowls. Tim Tebow tried to do the drive 3.0 or whatnot, maybe 4.0 if you count Vince Young's drive there. But he ended up throwing a pick on like the second or third play of the drive. So now going to year 4, and man, this was a tough game. I don't know what happened. It was Monday night against the Chargers. We're coming off a 13-3 season against the Chargers, who went like something like 8-8 or something the year prior. I don't know what happened, but we got annihilated. They put up over 70 points on us, 9 touchdown passes for Phillip Rivers. I have no idea what happened this game. I don't know what happened to our defense. We did lose a lot of players due to retirement and whatnot. We lost Champ Bailey, we lost Jeremiah Bell. But yeah, we lost 73-7. Our defense couldn't stop a bloody nose, man. And then we almost did the same thing against the Raiders. They only put up 49 points against us. It was a really tough start to the season. I was thinking, man, are we even going to be returning to the playoffs after this? We were able to get some nice plays. We only got a couple good plays against the Chargers. We had that big J.J. Woodson touchdown, which was his only touchdown on the year. So going into Week 3 against the Dolphins, we're 0-2. But then here, Jalen Waters, his first game with us, jumps up, gets that interception. But unfortunately for him, just like Dwayne Robertson, he's good when he's on the field. Problem is, he's not always on the field. And this was really Leighton Manning's big breakout game here. He brought this one 78 yards to the crib for the touchdown and really locked up our game. The defense was playing good, over 10,000 yards for Tebow. So now Sunday Night Football against the Cleveland Browns, an AFC Championship rematch. We were both struggling going into this game. I think we were both 1-2. Nice pick there. And then Tim Tebow finds J.J. Woods in there, and that would be his last catch on the year as he had a season-ending injury. And what's sad is he only played slightly better in year 5 when he was healthy the entire year than he did in the first 4 games. Now we have the Denver Broncos against the Buffalo Broncos. Kyle Orton going deep there. Raheem Moore with the INT. John Fox's return to Denver did not go as planned for him as he lost 28-6. And then this was Anthony Armstrong's first game as a Denver Bronco. He made a spectacular grab here. Just take a look at that, just diving forward. I don't think we saw any other catches for him like this, but he was playing lights out this game as he gets his first touchdown reception as a Denver Bronco. He did a good job stepping up for J.J. Woodson there, taking over that position, and we put Leighton Manning in the slot. And now this was actually a Super Bowl preview. I don't think anyone thought it at the time, especially the way we were struggling. The Rams, man, they were really good this season. They had been bad the entire franchise and whatnot. Throughout all 5 years, or throughout 4 of the 5 years, awful. Years 1 through 3, and then year 5, not even a winning record. But then out of nowhere here, year 4, they go 12-4, and of course we see that they take a trip to the Super Bowl. But unfortunately they blow us out. Here against the Arizona Cardinals, Julius Thomas makes a nice catch there. He gets hurt, but he is back in the ballgame because he had a really big game. And then Leighton Manning on the sideline, another nice toe drag swag there. And here we come to one of my favorite games, I think, of the entire franchise. We go to the 7-0 Seattle Seahawks. I think we're like 3-4 or something like that. And we upset them big time, man. Like, it was such a fun game. This game was here. It was nice to see the young Zack Snyder, who's basically Russell Wilson, it seems. Just his playing style and whatnot. This was a really fun game, though. It played out really nicely. Tim Tebow with a rushing touchdown there. We almost choked this game away, though, after being up 20-3. It was 20-17, but then Sean Marino puts the nail in the coffin there, makes it a 10-point game. We would end up winning that game 27-7. Now against the Kansas City Chiefs, Anthony Armstrong gets the catch, brings it back all the way to the house. The quickest 2-minute drill you're ever going to see. One play all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. And this was another big-time win for us as we continued our win streak, because I believe we were 2-4 at one point, and then we went on a big-time win streak. We did not lose until Week 17 against the Niners, and then after that, we didn't lose at all as we went on to win the Super Bowl. Dwayne Robertson with the interception there was the second or third play of the game, picking off Tom Brady here. Patriots, this was the only season I think they missed the playoffs. They really fell off the last few seasons. Big run here from Quan Sherman. He's one of my favorite players that I drafted. Him, Woodson, and Robertson, probably my favorite players I drafted. And they were the first 3 picks I made. And also Leighton Manning, one of my favorite players that I drafted. But those were the first 3 picks I made in the first draft. With the first round pick, you got Woodson, second round pick, Robertson, third round pick, Sherman. And they were all absolute studs. After that, I couldn't draft super well, I guess. They got Manning. And then also, the Anthony McDowell was a very pleasant surprise. He really stepped up. And then we were able to beat the New England Patriots. Demaryius Thomas down the left sideline there. A big-time touchdown. Week 12 against the Chargers here. I don't remember if we won or lost this game. We won it because we were on our big-time win streak. That's right. And then Quan Sherman, an 80-yard touchdown. I'd probably actually take him over Marshawn Lynch, we ended up getting in year 5 because Quan Sherman wanted a lot of money. Ended up going to Buffalo. Really like Quan Sherman. Maybe I should have kept him, especially since Noshan Marino struggled this past season. He did actually run for 2,000 yards in year 3, but really fell off after that, I would say. I don't know if maybe that had to do with maybe Coach Tomlin coming in, John Fox leaving. I don't know. I don't know if the coach actually really affects it that much, but it's kind of fun to go with the storylines and whatnot. Here we have a big-time game against the Indianapolis Colts, and this was a really fun game. I don't know what it is, even if we're blowing out the Colts, which I think we did every time we played them. It was fun. Maybe it's because Peyton Manning always gave the ball to Dwayne Robertson. He got a nice return there. And then this game, it looked like they were about to make this game close, probably 7-9, but instead, Bush fumbles the football. Elvis Doomerville bringing this one all the way back to the house. This was a dominant, I believe it was a Thursday night game here. And instead of it being just a 2-point game, as it looked like it might be, we extended our lead there to 16. And then later in the second quarter here, taking a deep shot, Anthony McDowell with the INT. He really stepped up and actually got a higher overall rating than Dwayne Robertson. I believe Dwayne Robertson's been at an 80 for a while. Anthony McDowell is at an 84, believe it or not. I didn't believe it when I first saw it. And then right after that play there, we get into the end zone. Tim Tebow extends the lead out to 23. Now against the Oakland Raiders, going deep here, Anthony Armstrong with the reception and the touchdown. This game started off as a shootout, but then once Scotty Mueller got hurt and then Parker Miller came in, yeah, that was game. 24 apiece here entering the fourth quarter. Going deep down the right, Demaryius Thomas with the touchdown reception there, tackled into the end zone. And yeah, that sends us to the playoffs now. We were down early against the Kansas City Chiefs, but then Quan Sherman, a big run for him. Can't quite get it into the end zone. But yeah, we were down 10-0 early and ended up putting like 40 points on the board. And Chiefs didn't score after the first quarter at all there. We just really dominated them. And yeah, the Chiefs were the team that dominated us twice in year 5. Tim Tebow runs that one into the end zone 44-10. Man, this was a really fun playoff run for us here. And then we have the game against the Texans. Man, this game, we were up 17-0, and then just 3 mistakes let the Texans back into the game. All of a sudden, we're down 21-17. This was a fantastic throw. You never know if Tim Tebow was going to be accurate, much less on the run. But they're on the run, rolling to his right. He's a left-handed quarterback, able to throw just a really awkward pass to Armstrong, who's able to get some nice yards after the catch. And then being down against the Texans there, they came roaring back, but then Noshan Marino puts the game away there. And then we earned a trip back to the Super Bowl 2 years later. Man, this is, I think, the best game. It was such a fun game because every time an offense had the ball, they scored. it seemed. Whether it was a field goal or a touchdown, felt like it was a touchdown more often than not here. Golden Tate had an amazing Super Bowl there, a nice grab for him. I think he was close to 100 yards on the game. And then Noshan Marino takes the lead back. We just kept going back and forth, man. This is everything you want in a Super Bowl here. 1 second left on the clock, and then the Rams get into the end zone to take the lead right before halftime there. He was somehow able to get that snap off there. And then, in this alternate universe, Sam Bradford and Tim Tebow both, I guess, made it a little bit better in the NFL than they did in real life. Of course, they played the national title game and whatnot, and I think it was 09 against each other here. And then we were able to extend our lead out to 28-20. Then Bradford going to the corner of the end zone. Kennedy with the reception there for the touchdown. They would not convert on the 2-point conversion, though. And then this touchdown run from Tim Tebow would win the game, put the final nail in the coffin. Man, this was such a fun game to play, man. It was so much fun, especially because we won. But even if we lost, like I still had a blast playing that Super Bowl against the Packers, despite a loss. But then able to go back and forth. Tim Tebow, no interceptions. I don't think there were any turnovers at all in this game. This is exactly what you want in a Super Bowl. Just back and forth, a clean game, man. Much better than what the Rams did in their most recent Super Bowl appearance. It was such a good game. Tim Tebow, he got himself the Super Bowl MVP. Man, the Super Bowl celebration and whatnot's pretty cool in this game. You get to see him hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and celebrating and whatnot. And that's going to lead to year 5, a year full of disappointment. Week 1, we're against the Bengals, who won 2 games the season before. We're defending Super Bowl champions, and we're down 28-0 against the Bengals. It was just, man, J.J. Woodson jumping up, getting that one. He finally came back from injury here, and then we were almost able to complete this comeback too. A nice pick there by Joe Mays, but yeah, it was 35-28 in the fourth quarter. And we had the ball in our hands, and we ended up throwing an interception there. A big-time connection down the right sideline there for Demaryius Thomas. We were able to score on that drive. And then Parker Miller forced into a bad throw there. Antoine Casey with the interception. The Bengals, they didn't stick with Parker Miller throughout the whole year. Tony Romo was just sitting out there in free agency, so they decided they would pick him up there. J.J. Woodson, I thought this is what he would start doing all season, but I was wrong. I feel like part of it was me, though, not really using him the right way. I feel I wasn't giving as many jump balls, maybe. I was also kind of scared to throw with Tebow half the time just because of his inaccuracy. There, DeAnthony McDowell gets the INT in the end zone. A nice play there against the Raiders. And then we got that shutout, as you saw, in Week 3 against the Houston Texans. J.J. Woodson, another spectacular grab. He actually had a pretty solid start to the season. He had a couple 100-yard games, I think, or at least one, which is kind of sad because he only finished with like 300 yards on the year. And then here, this might be my favorite play, though, throughout the entire series. A deep shot to Demaryius Thomas. Just a perfect play. Great protection from Tim Tebow. A play-action pass here. It was much deserving of a replay. Just look at this. Play action. Perfect protection. Tim Tebow just throwing it right where only Demaryius Thomas can get it. He was able to keep his feet in bounds there. Just a perfect play. And then we have this game against the Minnesota Vikings. One of the best performances on defense all season, man. How did we not make the playoffs? I know how we didn't make the playoffs. Tim Tebow threw like 29 picks. That's how we didn't make the playoffs. But here he starts off with a strike to Julius Thomas, who was coming back from injury. And then here he throws another touchdown because why not here? Demaryius Thomas tackled into the end zone for the touchdown. But this was a miserable day to be a Vikings quarterback because this defense got 13 sacks. Von Miller, he was moved to the defensive end position in Week 3. He was kind of struggling, though, but fear not because he had 4 sacks. Count them, 4 sacks on the game. 2 of them in the first quarter there against Christian Ponder, who ended up getting hurt. Here he's running around. Richard Seymour, I think Richard Seymour had like 3 or 4 sacks this game as well. He really had a great season despite his age. And then Ponder's looking to pass, and down he goes. Xavier Richmond, I believe, got that sack, one of his 2 sacks And that set Christian Ponder out for the game. Maybe he was just faking the injury because he knew it was going to be a tough day there. Brett Stone, he was playing. Jacob Davis gets the sack there. Back on offense now, going deep, a great catch there for Thomas. Back on defense now, they give it to Adrian Peterson, who loses the football there. Raheem Moore is able to pick it up. He's going to take this one all the way back to the crib. Man, this defense was scary, especially about mid-season, but they played pretty good, I would say. Except, of course, in weeks 1 and 2 against, who did we even play in week 1? This Bengals, that's right, and then the Packers, which, no highlights for that game because, man, that game sucked. Look at that, Von Miller, another sack for him. Just one play later, look at that, Von Miller, another sack for him. 4 sacks, and we should have moved him to defensive end years ago, honestly, because he was playing so good at defensive end. Like, what if we had done that year 1, year 2? Like, he would have absolutely dominated. And then Richard Seymour, he gets himself another sack there, forcing 3rd down and 18. And guess what's going to happen here? He's sacked, loses the football. Jenkins is able to pick it up, and another scoop-in score. There were a total of 3 scoop-in scores in this game. That was the Vikings' 1 touchdown, came on a scoop-in score. And then this defense got 2 of them. More highlights because there's more sacks. Richard Seymour getting his 3rd, man. It was so fun for this defense on this day here. And Stone, he's got time, but that time runs out. Look at that, 4 sacks for Richard Seymour. And if that wasn't enough, Von Miller came back the next week. I think this was Sunday Night Football against the Chargers, and he got himself 5 sacks. He finished the year with 18 sacks, and he got half of those in these 2 games here against the Vikings and against the Chargers. 3 of them here in the first half for him here. He's looking to pass here, and this one gets tipped. That's right, this is Paul Posluszny's big-time pick 6. Paul Posluszny, man, he was a late free agent signing, and he just absolutely balled out. He got himself a starting position because when we moved Von Miller to defensive end, that left a void there at outside linebacker. And then we moved Paul Posluszny to there. There's Von Miller getting his 4th sack on this game. 2nd down and 17. Oh, look at that. Von Miller getting another sack, man. He absolutely dominated this game here. Now we have our game against the Lions. Dwayne Robertson gets this pick and gets us back into the ball game with yet another pick 6 for him. And yeah, we were down big time in this game. Came roaring back there against the Lions. This was a really nice throw. Only a 2-yard pass, but a really nice throw and catch there for Leighton Manning. And then this screen pass made it go into overtime. The first overtime game since year 1, surprisingly. I don't know how we didn't manage to go into overtime at all between years 2 and 4. But we did. But then we had back-to-back overtime games here against the Lions. And then against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Unfortunately, we were not able to wrap up that game against the Lions. TJ Bird connected big time on like a 3rd down and 15 connection into the end zone to win the game here. But this was a really fun game. One of the best games, I would say, as well here. Anthony Armstrong, a big-time touchdown for him. It's going to be tied at 14 apiece going into the half, and then 28 apiece at the end of the 4th quarter here. A great pass there to Williams. A blown cover, maybe not a blown coverage, but Antoine Cason, he got beat, man. Like, the receiver just ran right past him there. And then they come out to kill field goal. And then Antoine Cason, he redeems himself there. Von Miller scooping that one up. And now forcing overtime. Only the 2nd blocked field goal, or blocked anything that we really got at all. But now in overtime, the Steelers, they got the football. Joe Mays with the interception there, jumping in front of that one. And picking that one off. And that was a great play. Set up this Matt Prater field goal. I would have said it saved our season. It probably should have. I'm still slightly upset that we didn't make the playoffs. I really think we should have over the Steelers because we beat them head-to-head, and they made the playoffs at 9-7. We also went 9-7, did not make the playoffs. And then here, that game against the Ravens, that started their big-time losing streak. They were 7-2 and finished the year 8-8. Pretty disappointing there. And then we have our annual Jet beatdown, except this was the only time, really, that it wasn't a beatdown. 10-0 early on. I dissed the rookie quarterback of the New York Jets, and then first play of the game, he throws a 80-yard touchdown. They were actually played this game pretty competitive. This was one of Tebow's better games, I think he had like 3 touchdowns and probably 2 or 3 interceptions this game as well. But yeah, much needed win for us. Going to the corner, yep, 3 touchdown passes for him there. A nice connection to J.J. Woodson. His 25th career receiving touchdown. You would have thought that came in year 2, considering that he had 14 in year 1, but no, he couldn't even put up 14 receiving touchdowns the other 3 seasons of his career. There we get the safety, which gives us the lead here. Now we're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, a game that we very well could have won. Like, honestly, we should have made the playoffs, just considering we had so many games that we shoulda, coulda, woulda won, including this one against the Raiders. I actually ended up playing this game twice because the first time I played it, I don't think I recorded it right or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. The recording glitched out. I did that a couple times. Not because I was losing big time, but more so because it wasn't recording right. I did that with the Season 2 game against the Chargers. I played that game like 3 times just because it wasn't recording right. Yeah, both times I played that Raiders game, I lost. So that's fun. And then Antoine Cason, big time pick 6 here against the Browns to keep our season alive. The eventual team that would go to the Super Bowl representing the AFC. And then another screen pass here for Sean Marino. And then a nice spin move there. Sean Marino and the screens, man, they worked really well in year 4 and 5. Probably should have been doing them more. But then I kind of overused them, I would say, maybe, in the final 2 seasons. Just I got really screen happy, you could say. But it worked more often than not, generally. And then Demaryius Thomas in the corner of the end zone there, or maybe not the corner, but right at the end zone for his 25th career touchdown reception for him as well. Ethan Jenkins, he's trying to lead his team downfield. Richard Seymour says no, and we get the game-winning safety here. We went on a nice little, maybe not win streak, but we got some nice wins down the stretch. Unfortunately, all 4 not. And then here goes Marshawn Lynch, who wasn't really running people over this series and whatnot. He was more of an elusive back, but he still had a solid season. And then here, Tim Tebow's pass to Anthony Armstrong, the final touchdown in the Madden 12 Denver Broncos franchise, extended our lead just enough against the Bears to give us the victory. And just thank you, everyone, for watching this series. As I said, I really built my channel on this. And so to everyone who's liked and commented and viewed and whatnot, a big thank you to you guys for sticking through my bad, first few seasons. I wasn't that good at editing, commentating, all that stuff. I would like to say I'm better now. I would think I am better now. So yes, just a big thank you to everyone. I will have some new series coming to the channel to basically replace this series. But yes, just a big old thank you to everyone who watched this series. I hope you all had a moist rest of your day, and until next time, this has been Jeffrey. Goodbye.